thanks so much, and really honored to be presenting alongside some amazing companies today. Thanks for the very important work that you're doing in the world. Just in terms of advancing my slides here, in a matter of weeks, we've seen the entire world's mental health and well-being impacted by COVID-19. In a recent Kaiser poll, 45% of Americans noted that COVID-19 has impacted their mental health quite dramatically. So loneliness, isolation, fear, anxiety, mental health is something that we've all experienced in the last little while. But as we also know, in non-pandemic times, mental health is often an unfortunate byproduct of managing a chronic condition. And in a recent study with McKinsey that just came out just a little while ago is looking at the impact of that mental health on expenditures. So, 23% of members that they had surveyed were sort of impacting 60% of the overall medical expenditures as related to mental health and addiction. The cost to treat a patient with diabetes who has depression is almost 20,000 higher than a patient who doesn't. And of course, the well-being of patients and their overall quality of life is something that is very important that we're focused on. So we know that when people are isolated due to a pandemic, a health challenge, a life circumstance, that their health outcomes worsen and they cost more and they lose that quality of life. We also know that humans are social animals and we thrive with that social connection. That social connection we've been missing, and it's so nice to see today. But we need that social connection in all aspects of our lives to thrive, including healthcare. And decades of research have shown that with that social support, with that peer support, that people have way better outcomes. They cost less, they have higher adherence. Our own clinical evidence shows the same, that they're better able to navigate, have improved self-management education, and overall psychosocial scores. So we know that peer support and social support is critically important to well-being, but how on earth do you deliver that at scale? The challenge with using some of the mainstream ways that we socially connect is that they just simply weren't designed for healthcare, and they have data and privacy issues that come with that. And so while they form really important roles in connecting people generally, it doesn't work so well for healthcare. And we have very well-designed and well-intentioned regulations around privacy that also make it very difficult for healthcare to use social. So healthcare has pretty much been left out of this social piece of transformation. And when there isn't social with healthcare, there's a really hard time for healthcare organizations to gather those insights and garner the data value, to deliver support at scale, to influence decision-making, and to understand their patient populations and how to deliver value. So what we've built with Curatio is a way for health organizations to compliantly engage patients on their own private social network. So we've built a platform that enables them to private and white label their own social networks. We are privacy compliant worldwide. We're regulatory compliant, so we can be used alongside therapies and care plans in the reporting of adverse events and pharmacovigilance. We're venture-backed. We speed time to market in terms of developing these communities and deploying support at scale by up to 25 times. And we've got some nice published clinical evidence and ongoing research that shows statistically significant improvements. So as mentioned, psychosocial, adherence, self-management. We're used in over 95 countries so far. We're available in 12 languages and have quickly become a value component of our customers' toolkit as they deliver support at scale. So in terms of why now, COVID has certainly accelerated our offering dramatically. So you have outpatient groups, patients that are waiting for surgery, chronic disease patients, all who are facing impact of mental health and daily disease management. And so we provide a way to deliver that support at scale and address some of those gaps. We've also been offering our platform free for nonprofit patient advocacy groups so that they can support their patients at a distance during COVID. From a pharmaceutical manufacturing perspective, which is another segment that we serve, there's this end to sort of blockbuster drugs and a real move towards personalized and digital therapeutics. Now, in order for those to work, you need the data insights. And so we really provide that contextual aid and fill some of those data deserts that is addressing what is a massive market need for data insights. Similarly, on the payer side, there's a need to show real world evidence and value. And so, you know, we are also providing not only the support at scale, but a way to understand those data deserts and the patient populations and the data analytics that go with that. And finally, you know, as we've seen during COVID, but patients live on mobile social. 83% of people that are on social networks are using mobile social. It's in the palm of our hands. And that's why Curatio, I think, has grown so quickly, is being in the palm of the hand, delivering support at scale, and some really unique data insights that aren't available. I'll walk you through how it works really quickly, but here's Ben. He's recovering from a heart attack. He lives in Brooklyn. He's also a caregiver. So we onboard Ben using some AI and a really lovely buddy, his first health buddy, who helps him onboard and navigate. We're using some proprietary technology we've built around a matchmaking algorithm that helps Ben match to others that are like him, not just based on his condition, but also his interests and life stage. And from there, Ben is supported in terms of both AI and human coaching, daily check-ins, evidence-based programs, self-assessment, risk assessments, and daily disease trackers. We're really excited to be adding in the remote piece and the remote patient monitoring. So when Ben needs that direct connection with his care team, with his provider, we can provide it. And also opportunities for Ben to be involved in research participation and having his own dashboard on how he's doing day over day. I'm super excited to announce today, so you're some of the first to hear of it, that we're launching our Stronger Together version of the platform. And this has been designed specifically for COVID. It's free and available in the App Store as of today, and it can also be licensed or white labeled by health organizations that are wanting to provide support around COVID. And we've really focused in here on some of the mental health issues that are coming up with COVID, or as related to anxiety, the stress that working parents are under, isolated seniors at home, outpatients and vulnerable populations that are still having to self-isolate. We have a whole variety of partners and customers on board for this, and we're very excited about it. I hope you'll check it out. In terms of our growth, we've just closed a Series A, which will give us runway and power us for the next 2 years. And to triple our revenue. We had a very strong year last year. We are on track for this year as well. And we may open an extension round in the fall alongside some strategic, but we are laser focused right now on providing that value and support to patients at scale. If we can help you in any way, I'd be happy to chat and welcome your comments.
Thank you, Lynda. We just have time for about 1 or 2 questions. So let's try and keep the answers brief. How, from Alex Efron, do pharma companies use the community to better understand patient journey, inform trial design and product launch, possibly even recruit study or trial participants?
Yeah, exactly. And most of our inbound has been from people talking to their patient populations, whether it's pharma, payers, providers, and their patient populations saying back, we want to talk to other people. We want to be connected to peers and understand what we're going through and have that day-to-day support. And that's how they find us. So yeah, absolutely is connecting and providing that peer support, but then really understanding the contextual data, which is a massive gap in terms, you might understand a patient, what therapy they're on, but you don't know anything else in terms of their life stage, what they're struggling with, you know, their social context, and those are the gaps we help understand for a more holistic view of the patient.
Awesome. Okay, and one quick final question: how do you monitor your social environments to make sure they're supportive and purposeful? You know, basic
Yes.
Quality control.
Yeah, super important. So we've built in a lot of technology to help with that. The adverse events, pharmacovigilance being one, filtering, flagging being the other, and also human. So we have human community managers in every one of our communities. They're located around the world. They're multilingual. We have a community manager training academy, and they have their own learning community that they go through as well. So a mix of human and computer management.